In our upcoming review, we will delve into the 10 main ideas presented in Grounding for the Metaphysics of Morals by Immanuel Kant. This foundational work in ethical philosophy intricately explores the concept of the categorical imperative and the profound notion of moral duty. Within the pages of this seminal text, Kant's ideas resound strongly, shaping our comprehension of ethical principles. We'll unravel a framework where the categorical imperative serves as an unwavering guide, navigating actions through universalizability while emphasizing the inherent importance of rational autonomy. Kant's stress on acting out of duty, coupled with his deontological approach, challenges the established tenets of consequentialist ethics. As we embark on this review, we'll encounter Kant's vision of a united community governed by shared moral values, a vision that continues to ignite conversations on ethical philosophy. Before we dive in, if you find this content valuable, please hit that like button, subscribe to our channel, and leave a comment below. It truly helps us grow. Now, let's get started. 1. Categorical imperative defined. Kant's intellectual opus beckons us into the world of ethical philosophy by unveiling the concept of the categorical imperative. This profound moral law, which he meticulously elaborates, serves as a steadfast compass guiding human actions without wavering. Its universality and unconditionality make it a beacon of ethical reasoning, transcending individual perspectives and inclinations. Kant asserts that this imperative derives its strength from rational principles, shunning subjective biases and whims. Kant's emphasis on the categorical imperative's universality fosters a sense of equity, demanding that actions be grounded in principles that can be applied consistently across humanity. It challenges individuals to evaluate their intentions and maxims with utmost scrutiny. By placing rationality at the helm, Kant provides a robust foundation for moral discussions, prompting us to navigate the complex landscape of right and wrong through objective reasoning. Thus, Kant's exposition engenders an enduring discourse on moral philosophy, reminding us of the timeless significance of rational principles and guiding our ethical choices. 2. Universalizability. Kant's exploration of ethics deepens as he introduces the principle of universalizability. This cornerstone concept insists that the moral fabric of an action rests upon its capacity to withstand universal application devoid of contradiction. Kant propounds that for an action to be morally acceptable, one must imagine a world where everyone follows the same principle without encountering logical inconsistencies. By setting this stringent criterion, Kant pushes us to scrutinize our intentions and maxims before taking action. He challenges us to rise above personal biases and examine whether the principle behind our actions can stand the test of universality. In doing so, Kant constructs a robust framework for moral decision-making, where the litmus test is the coherence of our maxims across all of humanity. Kant's principle of universalizability serves as a compass, guiding ethical thinkers to navigate the intricate waters of moral dilemmas. It prompts us to ponder not only the immediate consequences of our actions, but also their ethical viability on a grand, universal scale. Through this principle, Kant elevates the discourse of ethics, urging us to contemplate the inherent consistency and fairness of our moral choices. 3. Ends and means. Kant's ethical philosophy takes a profound turn as he delves into the dichotomy of ends and means. In this pivotal exploration, he illuminates the distinction between regarding individuals as mere instruments to achieve a goal and recognizing them as inherently valuable entities. Kant ardently stresses that it is our moral duty to honor the intrinsic dignity of every individual. By framing this distinction, Kant urges us to transcend transactional relationships and view each person as an end in themselves. This concept resonates with the principle of treating others how we wish to be treated. He places the onus on us to acknowledge the worth of others, appreciating their autonomy and rational capacity. Kant's emphasis on respecting the dignity of individuals reverberates throughout ethical discourse. It challenges us to navigate complex moral landscapes by considering the impact of our actions on the well-being and autonomy of others. This principle not only shapes interpersonal interactions but also serves as a cornerstone for societal norms and the pursuit of justice. 4. Autonomy and Rationality. Kant's philosophical edifice gains further depth as he expounds on the pivotal concepts of autonomy and rationality. In this pivotal exploration, Kant underscores individual autonomy and rationality as the bedrock upon which morality stands. He contends that rational beings possess the unique ability to apprehend and align with moral principles, thereby distinguishing them from mere agents driven by instinct or impulse. Kant's celebration of autonomy highlights the responsibility individuals hold for their actions. He contends that through rational thought, individuals can transcend base desires and make ethical choices that uphold universal principles. This emphasis on rationality interweaves with his earlier notion of the categorical imperative, propelling moral actions that are guided by principles rather than fleeting emotions. By accentuating the role of autonomy and rationality, Kant frames morality as a product of deliberate contemplation and intentional decision-making. This perspective not only elevates the significance of human agency but also underscores the moral imperative to engage in reflective and reasoned ethical considerations. Through this lens, Kant ignites a discourse that endures as a foundational tenet in ethical philosophy. 5. Goodwill. Kant's ethical framework ascends to its zenith with the concept of the good will. In this apex exploration, Kant crystallizes the notion that the moral pinnacle is attained when actions are propelled by the intention to do what is ethically right. He emphasizes that the essence of moral worth lies not in outcomes, desires, or even circumstances, but in the purity of intention. By celebrating the good will, Kant presents an unwavering standard against which moral actions can be measured. He challenges the allure of self-interest and external accolades, steering our focus toward the inner compass of ethical intention. Kant's proposition prompts us to disentangle actions from ego-driven motivations and to embrace a higher calling based on universal principles. The concept of the good will transforms the landscape of moral philosophy by redirecting our attention from results to the very roots of our intentions. It invites us to reflect on the authenticity of our motives, encouraging actions that emanate from a genuine desire to uphold ethical principles. Through this emphasis, Kant reinforces the enduring notion that true morality is a testament to the nobility of the human spirit, guided by the unwavering beacon of the good will. 6. Moral duties. Kant's ethical tapestry expands as he delineates a spectrum of moral duties. In this comprehensive exploration, Kant underscores the multifaceted nature of ethical obligations that shape human interactions and societal harmony. Kant's first brushstroke on this canvas reveals the duty to oneself, a call to self-improvement. He argues that individuals have a responsibility to cultivate their own rational capacities, fostering personal growth and enlightenment. This self-development, he posits, contributes to one's ability to engage meaningfully with others and the world. A second stroke underscores the duty to others, an imperative to extend assistance and compassion to fellow human beings. Kant's ethical architecture beckons us to recognize the intrinsic value in every person and to act with empathy and care. Lastly, Kant emphasizes the duty to society through adherence to laws and societal norms. He advocates for a collective pact, where rational beings coexist harmoniously by abiding by rules that ensure order and fairness. Kant's exposition of these moral duties intertwines individual growth, communal harmony, and ethical conduct. It presents a mosaic of responsibilities that collectively contribute to a just and enlightened society. By delineating these obligations, Kant equips us with a holistic understanding of ethical action, inspiring us to embrace our roles as stewards of personal development, communal well-being, and societal order. 7. Acting from duty. Kant's ethical vista deepens as he underscores the significance of the motivation behind actions. In this profound exploration, Kant posits that the true essence of moral actions resides in the intention to fulfill one's duty, irrespective of personal desires or gains. Kant challenges the notion that actions driven by inclination, emotions, or even self-interest can be deemed morally praiseworthy. Instead, he elevates actions that spring forth from a sense of duty, actions propelled by a commitment to uphold ethical principles. By placing duty at the heart of moral considerations, Kant transforms the very nature of ethical discourse. This emphasis on acting from duty invites individuals to transcend the allure of immediate gratification and self-centered motivations. It nudges us to embrace a higher ethical calling, where the pursuit of what is right takes precedence over personal gain. Kant's proposition redefines virtue by highlighting the nobility in aligning actions with objective moral principles, setting a profound benchmark for evaluating the moral worth of our choices. Through this lens, Kant champions a paradigm shift, a departure from self-serving actions to a realm of conscientious duty-bound behavior. He beckons us to examine the true source of our actions, encouraging a transformative shift toward an ethical landscape rooted in unwavering commitment to duty and moral principles. 8. Moral worth. Kant's exploration of moral philosophy reaches its zenith as he unveils the concept of moral worth. In this pivotal revelation, Kant propounds that the intrinsic value of an action is derived from the intention behind it, rather than the results it yields. He asserts that actions undertaken out of a sense of duty possess a unique moral worth that transcends the fluctuating tides of success or failure. Kant's critique of actions driven by self-interest challenges conventional ethical theories that hinge solely on the outcomes of actions. By emphasizing the primacy of duty-driven actions, Kant shifts the focus to the motivations that guide human behavior. He contends that actions motivated by genuine moral principles reflect a higher level of ethical maturity. Through this lens, Kant reshapes our understanding of moral evaluation, prompting us to scrutinize not only the external consequences but also the inner moral compass that directs our choices. His assertion engenders a profound appreciation for the depth of character that emerges when individuals act guided by unwavering principles, heralding a paradigm shift in ethical discourse. 9. Deontological ethics. Kant's ethical framework takes on a distinct form known as deontological ethics, a concept that stands in stark contrast to consequentialist theories. In this pivotal exploration, Kant shifts the spotlight away from the outcomes of actions and redirects it towards the inherent nature of those actions themselves. Kant's deontological perspective centers on the moral duty to follow certain principles, regardless of the potential outcomes. He maintains that the rightness or wrongness of an action is determined by the principles that govern it, rather than the consequences it might yield. This approach underscores the significance of following universalizable maxims and upholding ethical norms. In contrast to consequentialist theories, which assess the morality of actions based on their outcomes, Kant's deontological ethics shines a light on the integrity of motives and principles. This distinction ignites a thought-provoking debate in the realm of ethics, challenging us to reflect on the fundamental essence of our actions and steering ethical discussions toward the broader question of what it means to act with moral integrity. 10. Moral legislation and the kingdom of ends. Kant's ethical vision culminates in the concept of moral legislation and the aspirational notion of a kingdom of ends. In this climactic revelation, Kant paints a vivid picture of a harmonious society where rational beings coalesce in adherence to the moral law, transcending individual interests for the collective pursuit of ethical principles. Kant's kingdom of ends reflects a utopian ideal, where every individual is both a participant and an end in themselves. This vision underscores the mutual respect that arises when each person recognizes the inherent worth of others. It envisions a community governed by shared moral values, creating a foundation for cooperation, empathy, and harmonious coexistence. Moral legislation, as conceptualized by Kant, becomes the guiding force that shapes this envisioned society. It stems from rational agents' capacity to autonomously legislate moral principles that guide their actions. Kant's emphasis on self-imposed moral laws underscores the power of rational reflection in upholding ethical values. Through the kingdom of ends, Kant offers an inspiring perspective on how human societies can transcend selfish inclinations and aspire towards a collective commitment to moral principles. This notion fuels discussions on societal ethics, motivating us to strive for a world where mutual respect, shared values, and ethical consciousness create a tapestry of unity and harmony. Grounding for the Metaphysics of Morals presents Kant's intricate exploration of ethical philosophy, emphasizing the importance of rationality, universality, and duty in constructing a framework for moral decision-making.